It is Thursday, December the 1st, 2022. Good morning, I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Morning Report. Freedom of Barbados awardee, the Most Honorable Ralph Busy Williams, says he's changing his role in his company. Speaking shortly after he received his Independence Day honor yesterday, he said his new plan is to help develop more entrepreneurs, a plan to give back more to help the Barbados economic development.
I'm supposed to be changing my role from executive chairman to non-executive chairman at the end of this year. But I have about 3 other companies, small companies. My mission going forward is going to let the CEO run the Williams Industries, and I'll go and help young entrepreneurs develop businesses.
He added that there are other small projects which also occupy his attention.
We got a little farm up in St. Philip called 13-acre farms. We got a pig farm that's down in St. Lucie now, but that's moving to St. Philip. And we have about 3 other entrepreneurial things going on.
And a recipient of the Gold Trident of Excellence, William Hines, who was awarded for his work at pioneering developing photovoltaic energy, wants more people to get on the renewable energy path.
It feels great, not just for me, but all of Barbados, especially those in Barbados who are part of the energy sector, who are moving towards our economic enfranchisement through empowerment and investment and through our climate efforts in Barbados and the world.
Mr. Hines is also encouraging more Barbadians to take advantage of the financial offers to invest in PV systems.
It's a ridiculously easy opportunity for people to make profits. We are targeting at least 50,000 Barbadians, so if you've not come on board with the 100% loans, with the low interest rates, and the opportunity to make money, now is the time. We need you to join us, and we want to ensure that Barbadian citizens, especially householders, become part of our economic enfranchisement of citizens.
Meanwhile, some of the other awardees who were recognized for assisting community and other areas spoke about the honor of being recognized. A Silver Trident of Excellence was awarded to Kenneth Carlisle Ricky Went for his outstanding activism and contribution to the development of the utilities and telecommunications sectors. He told CBC News it's important to speak out for the people.
You don't set out to be honoured, you set out trying to be able to seek justice and equity, and whether that is with the minor class action suit with the minority shareholders with Kim Wallace, or whether that is, you're looking for rates are high and you're looking for light and power rate hearing. So when something like this happens, you just, you take yourself back, but you say, look, it's a recognition for all the support that not just yourself, but so many people have given me. So it really feels good.
Well, coming up on the CBC Morning Report, we have news on a breakthrough in the fight against Alzheimer's.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the Community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Keep the bones smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the Community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next, and follow us on Facebook. Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back.
Experts have welcomed full data showing an experimental drug can slow cognitive decline in Alzheimer's patients. However, they're warning improvements are comparatively small and it remains unclear how much difference it might make in people's lives.
Alzheimer's Disease International says on average one person develops dementia every 3 seconds. Alzheimer's is the most common cause of dementia. The number of people with dementia is expected to double every 20 years, with much of the increase in developing countries. Dementia costs globally are more than $1 trillion, about a third of the UK's annual GDP. Those costs include direct medical care, social care and unpaid care. And like many drugs, lecanemab has also been linked with serious side effects, including brain hemorrhage. But it's the first positive step in the fight against a devastating disease. Harry Fawcett has more.
For over 30 years, scientists have tried and failed to design a drug that tackles the cause, not the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Now comes the first evidence of real success, an antibody infusion that attacks a specific protein in the brain, slowing the development of early-stage Alzheimer's by around a quarter. Professor John Hardy first developed the theory.
We said that this approach might work 30 years ago. And, if you'd asked me 30 years ago how long it would take, I'd say 5 to 10 years. So for me, it seems definitely momentous. I think for patients, it's a real step forward, And it's going to take a couple of years to get it into the system.
It's patients like John Teeling in the early stages of the disease who stand to benefit the most. John says he felt the ground open up when he was diagnosed. He'd embrace anything that gives him more time with his wife and family.
You put it out of your mind. You know what you're going to end up like, and you know there's nothing you can do about it. But you can't worry about it because there's nothing you can do. Try and be accepting of it.
The new drug, lecanemab, inhibits the build-up in the brain of a protein called beta amyloid, visible as so-called plaques in the brains of Alzheimer's patients. Nearly 1,800 patients around the world took part in the study, which showed a 27% slowdown in the deterioration of their cognitive skills over 18 months. But if approved, the treatment will be laborious and costly to administer through blood infusions twice a month, and will also require major investment in screening for the disease to catch it sufficiently early.
And at the moment we do that through PET scans or through cerebral spinal fluid testing from a lumbar puncture. And that is, we need to broaden access to ways in which we can have access to those kind of tests. We also want to see new techniques that are quicker and faster and potentially cheaper, for example, blood tests.
30 million people around the world suffer with Alzheimer's, in itself just one form of dementia. Much difficult and costly work remains before treatments, let alone cures, are widely available, but this is a hugely significant first step.
Authorities in the Chinese city of Guangzhou have eased COVID restrictions a day after demonstrators in the southern city clashed with police amid a string of protests against Beijing's strict measures to control the coronavirus pandemic. China has imposed widespread lockdowns and travel restrictions and conducted mass testing as part of its zero COVID policy that has been generating rising anger.
Protests are taking a violent turn in the southern city of Guangzhou. In one video posted on social media, people tear down a COVID-19 testing tent. In another, protesters hurl glass bottles at police officers. Moments later, security forces dressed in hazmat suits advanced in formation, holding protective shields. The Reuters and AFP news agencies have verified the videos were filmed in Haiti district, but are unable to confirm when they were taken or the sequence of events. Haiti is where the bulk of China's recent infections have been reported. Much of the area has been under lockdown since October. The unrest marks an escalation in a movement that spread to several large cities from Shanghai and Beijing to Chengdu and Wuhan.
I would say that the Communist Party actually underestimated the anger at the grassroots level. I would not think they are well prepared for the protest occurring over the past weekend.
The latest developments come despite stern warnings against taking part in demonstrations. In a statement, China's top security agency has called for a crackdown on what it says are hostile forces. It's not clear who or what the government is referring to and has yet to provide evidence of any external interference. It's also reiterated confidence in its approach to the virus.
Facts over the years have fully proven that China's COVID protocols have protected the security and health of the Chinese people to the greatest extent and minimized impact on socio-economic development. Some countries have made remarks on China recently. These nations have enough issues to deal with at home. We hope they would heed the voices and interests of their own people instead of pointing fingers at others.
Meanwhile, authorities have begun easing restrictions in some areas, including Zhengzhou, home to the biggest iPhone factory in China, reduced mass testing requirements and allowed more businesses to reopen. Still, demonstrators fear possible retribution. In Beijing, some people have voiced support for the protesters.
I can still work from home, so the lockdown hasn't affected me too much. But seeing them fighting for freedom, I think is very inspiring.
Anger about the zero-COVID policy has morphed with people speaking out against censorship and what they say is an overbearing government.
NATO members have promised support for neighboring countries around Russia and Ukraine. It came on the final day of a meeting of the alliance's foreign ministers in Romania. It also comes as there was a blast at the Ukrainian embassy in Spain.
Moldova, Georgia and Bosnia-Herzegovina, who fear being destabilized by Moscow, have all received reassurances from NATO. Sweden says it's made progress towards an agreement with Turkey on its admission to the alliance. Ministers also discussed sending more air defense systems to Ukraine. A blast at the Ukrainian embassy in Madrid has injured at least one employee. Officials say the explosion happened when the staff member was handling a letter. He suffered light injuries and took himself to the hospital. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the injured worker was a commandant and that security has been stepped up at every Ukrainian embassy.
Coming up on Morning Barbados, when you join me at 6:30 this morning, we'll share with you yet again about the upcoming education conference and education for the future. That's being put on by the alumni of Harrison College and Queen's College. We want to hear more from them as we prepare for tomorrow and on the next day as well. The days of activism against women, against gender-based violence against women and girls have started. But what's the plan? We'll share with you in just a little while when you join me on Morning Barbados. And as it relates to safeguarding our elderly, the Sir Optimist Club International of Jamestown, they have a plan. What is that plan? Find out at 6:30 on Morning Barbados. This is the CBC Morning Report. We'll be back after this.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
This week on the CBC Independence Film Festival.
This Star Beijing, we proudly present Light, Lenses, Lasting Impressions, a Ronnie Carrington retrospective.
Saturday from 9:03 p.m. So get your snacks and settle into a comfy chair for the CBC Independence Film Festival.
Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley has called for a national reset to tackle 5 major national issues. She was addressing yesterday's Independence Parade. Ryan Broom reports.
Prime Minister Mia Motley appealed to young and old Barbadians to hold dear to some of the foundational values of our foreparents, such as love, sharing, and caring for others. Prime Minister Motley says now that the island has reached a new stage of the battle with COVID-19, it is time for a national reset. She says a key part of that will involve a meeting with the social partnership and civil society shortly to discuss a 5-point mission plan of unification to make Barbados world-class by 2030.
One, against the backdrop of a climate crisis and a world that is losing the biodiversity, that is losing almost and has almost 1 million animals and insects that can become extinct and therefore can threaten our food supply, the first goal must be to green Barbados and to ensure in greening Barbados that we protect our food supply. The second goal must be for a healthy and safe Barbados for all, and none of us need any explanation after the last 3 years as to what that will mean.
And the Prime Minister says the other 3 areas are also critical to the life of the country.
The third must be to use the platform of education that we have invested in for centuries, but in particular in our modern existence, to create a knowledge and innovation hub. And the fourth one must be to leverage our geography, that Barbados must be an entrepot for the West in the Southern Hemisphere, recognizing that geography has always mattered, but it was used for the wrong and nefarious purposes for too many centuries of our development. We must now use it for the benefit of Barbados and Barbadians, that geographical position. And finally, my people, the fifth must be the economic enfranchisement of our people.
Prime Minister Motley told the crowd if we are to be truthful to the journey we have traveled, then it must not be simply for capital to get returns, but for the bounty to be shared with labor as well. She also called on Barbadians to be strong and courageous in these challenging times. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
Ren, thank you. Independence Day was also the occasion for the St. Andrew Carnival. Shane Jones reports.
These were the sights and sounds throughout the winding roads of St. Andrew as revelers celebrated both freedom and culture through traditional Bajan song and dance. Hundreds of people littered the streets, some in costumes, others in their own clothes, but they all had good vibes. Selena King of the St. Andrew Parish Independence Committee was happy with the turnout.
We're celebrating St. Andrew's Day, Independence Day, Republic Day, and the people of St. Andrew are having a grand and wonderful time. We started from Greenland and we're heading up to Longbourn right now. As you can see right now, all the bands are together. We have 6 sessions, 3 tracks, 3 music tracks, and we're having a ball today.
Alston Ferguson said he had a fantastic time.
The location is really nice. First time down here for this one, but intend to got a good time out right through.
This was the second edition of the St. Andrew Carnival.
Reggae singer Mavado arrived in Barbados last evening for the Hennessy Artistry Show this weekend. The superstar, who came with his entourage, arrived on his birthday, which coincides with Barbados Independence Day. He will be one of the main acts at the Kensington Oval on Saturday. Also arriving was new artist Joshi, who will also be part of the weekend's star-studded lineup. The show returns after a 2-year hiatus owing to COVID-19, but promoters and sponsors promise it will be a show not to be missed. The United Nations has appealed for international help to stop a deadly outbreak of cholera in Haiti. More than 11,000 suspected cases have been recorded since the outbreak began in October.
It is but a tent open to the weather, yet for those stricken by cholera, this is sanctuary. Infants, adults, cholera is not fussy, and it kills when it comes quickly.
Cholera is always an emergency. The disease is extremely contagious, especially when it gets in a crowded city like here in Port-au-Prince.
Cholera, caught early, is easily treatable, But this is Haiti, where nothing is simple. Fanny Delver watches lovingly over her son, Mickelson Regis.
Compared to the way he was, he's getting better because of the nurses and doctors. If it wasn't for them, I probably would have lost my baby.
Fanny has more than one reason to keep Mickelson close. Her son will grow up without a father after Fanny's husband was shot dead by gang members. A routine occurrence in Port-au-Prince.
I don't have anybody to help me, so most likely I'll be on the street. That's what the gangs wanted, for me to be out on the street.
Gangs are also stopping cholera patients from leaving their territory to get urgent care.
Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives, one of the two branches of the United States Congress, have selected New York's Hakeem Jeffers to lead their caucus. His appointment follows a unanimous vote yesterday and is historic because never before has a black politician been named a party leader in the U.S. Congress.
At 52 years old, Jeffries is relatively young, 6 years younger than the average age of those sitting in the US House of Representatives. He's been in the House since 2013 and has chaired the House Democratic Caucus since 2019. Jeffries had a significant role in the first impeachment of Donald Trump. He was selected as one of 7 House managers presenting the case against the then president. He's the first black person to hold a top party leader position in the House or Senate. Heidi Jo Castro reports from Capitol Hill.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor.
This is the new face of House Democratic leadership, younger and more diverse. 52-year-old Hakeem Jeffries will be the first black American to lead a party in Congress.
House Democrats fight for the people. That's our story. That's our legacy. That's our values. That's our commitment as we move forward. Get stuff done.
Catherine Clark will be his number 2 as whip.
We as a team and as a caucus reflect the diversity and the strength of the American people. And that is where we are able to come together around shared values.
And Pete Aguilar, a member of the Hispanic caucus, will be number 3 as House Caucus Chair. The trio's ascension marks a generational change in the Democrats' House leadership, replacing 3 octogenarians led by Nancy Pelosi, who was leader for nearly 2 decades. The older trio announced they'd resign from their current leadership roles after Democrats lost control of the House in the last election.
We'll never see someone like Speaker Pelosi ever again in our lifetime. But her potential successor will be history-making in its own right.
Jeffries will become House Minority Leader when the newly elected Congress convenes in January. His expected role, largely to run defense against the new Republican majority.
We look forward to finding opportunities to partner with the other side of the aisle and work with them whenever possible. But we will also push back against extremism whenever necessary.
The new Republican House majority is expected to launch investigations into President Joe Biden, into his son Hunter, and other administrative officials. With Democrats still holding the majority in the U.S. Senate, a divided Congress, and one that is gridlocked, is nearly certain.
More than 1,000 people have protested outside a prison in South Africa against the pending release of Janus Wallace, the convicted killer of anti-apartheid leader Chris Hani.
More than 20,000 people outside this prison in Pretoria are trying to prevent the release of a man they consider an apartheid criminal. After serving nearly 30 years for the 1993 assassination of anti-apartheid leader Chris Hani, Janus Wallace has been granted parole. He was arrested along with now deceased politician Clive Derby Lewis, who was convicted of conspiracy to murder.
Our government want to release the person who killed him. And even today we're still asking ourselves, how do you release a person who killed our hero and leave people who fought for struggle to be where we are today, but you want to release a murderer?
Hours before this protest and on the eve of his release, Wallace was stabbed in prison by another inmate. Prison officials say he's in stable condition. Wallace has for years applied for parole after serving the minimum time required, and for years it's been denied.
In sports now, West Indies have made a solid reply to a massive first innings score by Australia at the end of day 2 of the first test at Perth. Australia resuming from their overnight score of 293 for 2, declared on 598 for 4, with Marnus moving from 154 not out to 204, Steve Smith moving from 59 not out to 200 not out, and Travis Head adding 99. Skipper Craig Brathwaite took 2 for 65. In reply, the Windies closed the day on 74 without loss to trail on first innings by 524 runs with all of their wickets intact. Taj Narayan Chandapal is on 47, inclusive of 6 fours and a 6, while Brathwaite is on 18. Day 3 begins at 10:30 this evening with live coverage on Sportsmatch Channel 310. Well, the FIFA World Cup dream of football star Lionel Messi of Argentina is still alive after his country advanced to the final 16 last evening in Qatar. Argentina defeated Poland 2-0 to win Group C. Croatia versus Belgium is on TV8 at 11 this morning, followed by Costa Rica and Germany at 3. There will also be 2 matches shown tape delayed, Japan against Spain at 9:03, followed by Canada versus Morocco. Remember, join us for the football analysis show Match Day Live from the 246 with Damien Best at 8:30 this evening. Now look at forecast conditions recorded earlier at the Met Office of the Grant Lee Adams International Airport. The moment, Barbados is 27 degrees Celsius under partly cloudy conditions. The winds are coming from the east at 27 kilometers an hour. Expect a low tide at 7 after 5 this afternoon. Our high tide is at 11 to 11 this morning and again at 13 to 11 tonight. Seas are moderate in open water swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and steady. So in the forecast for Barbados today, fair to partly cloudy at first, becoming occasionally cloudy with a few brief scattered light to moderate showers. And while for Barbados tonight, it will be partly cloudy with a few brief scattered light to moderate showers. And a look at some forecast conditions for international cities. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados.
morning, everyone. We've made it. We've made it to December. It's the 1st of December today. Good morning to all of you. I'm Pearson Bowen welcoming you. Hope you had a lovely yesterday and you're looking forward to a month long of celebrations indeed. It's also World AIDS Day today. So we do welcome you. Now, coming up today, we will be, as it is World AIDS Day, be talking about a celebrity cricket match. That's right. We want to hear a little bit more about how that will play out literally and who are the celebrities who will be engaging in that, so listen up for it. Also, we'll meet the Haiti ambassador for Europe who will join us this morning in just a little while. We'll tell you about the Bridgetown International Arts Festival. It is back, it is on, and how you can contribute your work to that particular International Arts Festival. As it relates to safeguarding elderly women against abuse, well, we want to talk about that as well today. And so we'll get started very shortly with a discussion on that and a whole lot more. But let's get right now to education, because the Harrison College, Queen's College Alumni Network, they are having something really, really good. I like the fact that they're including the young people, giving them a voice, having that conference on education for the future. Joining us to talk about it, representing the network of Harrison College and Queen's College alumni, is Michelle Daniel, who's the chair, and Laura Nichols, a committee member. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning,
good to see both of you. Happy holidays. It's the 1st of December. And so I'll start with you, Michelle. Put into context this you're welcome. Put into context this upcoming conference on education for the future.
Okay, thank you so much, Pearson. So this has been long in coming. We have been planning this conference, and what we have been doing is actually looking at what is happening on the education landscape and realizing that children, not only HC and QC students, need to be aware of what is possible and to actually start to think ahead in terms of all the possibilities that exist. So we've tried to design a multi-stakeholder conference, and which is student-based. So you will hear from the students in terms of their ideas on particular topics and what it means to them and how they see the future. And that's basically the crux of it. It started out in terms of thinking internally, but then realizing that, yes, all students in Barbados need to be aware of what their possibilities are in the world of education and in the world of work.
The modalities of education have changed. The subjects of education have changed. So much has changed, but have we changed enough with the times? And the students will get a chance to be able to respond to that particular moot. And I can't wait to see how it all rolls out. So, Laura, break it down for us, because it starts tomorrow and it continues then on Saturday as well. So break it down for us, how it's going to work. This conference on education for the future.
Well, it is a hybrid conference, so we are keeping up with the times. We have a face-to-face at Queen's College in-person session where we will have an amalgamation of students coming forward and just hearing from various panel discussions and various experts in their fields. And we are also inviting other schools as well. And then the other part of the hybrid session is the online session that we have the following day on Saturday. So that will be able to be accessible by the students who have registered, and they'll be able to continue that experience that they've had in the in-person.
So Friday and Saturday, it's open to the public. All of us, even me, who've not been to either school, I can be a part of it, look in and see and engage as well. But we're hearing from the students. And I see that you have Harrison College students presenting on a particular subject and Queen's College students presenting on a particular subject, so that the folks who are going to be a part of the conference starting tomorrow get a sense of what they are going to be presenting on. Tell us what Harrison College students will be doing and what Queen's College students will be doing.
So Laura, you want to go first, or do you want me? Oh. So Queen's College is their topic is society, the economy, education. How do we prepare? That's the Queen's College topic, and working in a team. And yes, we can't disclose too much, but in working independently, but with oversight of one of the teachers. Laura?
And on Harrison College's side, we have our research topic is present and future educational curricula, and it focuses on financial literacy in education as well as preparing for the future. And just like Michelle, we can't really say a lot about it at this time, but suffice it to say the students are uber excited to have the opportunity to share their views and engage in discussions during this conference.
So, Michelle, when it's all said and done on Saturday, when you're all wrapped up, what do you now do with what was shared during those 2 days?
Okay, thank you, Pearson. So that's why it's important, not just for the students, but the public to be a part of these discussions. So we have a close relationship with the Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, and we also know that they have a wider remit in terms of looking and doing educational form. So this information, it is proposed, it will be available online, so it's going to be live streamed and it will be available thereafter. We also plan to collaborate closely with the ministry in terms of any aspects that may be of use to them as they continue to undertake educational reform. And there's one thing that we have to share, but I know you're not quite finished, so it's a little surprise that persons may be able to obtain so long as they register and are there on Saturday.
All right. So, Laura, registration, tell us where to go to register.
Okay, so you can register for both dates separately. Either visit our website, which is hcqcalumninetwork.org, and you can also contact us registration support at 2020 HC Gathering, that's gathering without the G, at gmail.com to obtain a registration link.
All right. And each session, each day will run from what time to what time?
Okay. Each day will run from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Yes.
All right. So it's the first half of school, so to speak, you know, from 9:30 till about 12:30, just 3 hours, but 3 hours of intense focus on education for the future. Not just as oh my God, this is an exam. No, it's inspiring, it is instructional, it is also going to be quite revolutionary, because both of you have now come together as schools and you have now started something that has to be continued. We expect, Michelle, that there has to be follow-up and follows up thereafter.
Yes, yes. Yes, definitely. This is the start, and what we do is, as I said, it's been a long time in coming, but the intention is to actually start, see how this works, get the feedback, and then be able to continue. We can't say it will be annually or if it will be every other year,
Right.
but the intention is just to start. And as you said, we have persons speaking from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Professor Cardinal Ward. We have Professor Janice Fournier from the Georgia State University, and these are our keynote speakers. And so it's really, really important. That's on day one, and then we have other keynote speakers from South Africa and Sweden on day two. So this is in addition to the students, and we have our panel experts talking about financial literacy and the gig economy. So all of those assets, we really encourage persons to log on, and in terms of if you want to be there in person tomorrow, it's not too late to register. We just need to know so that we can control the numbers, but if not, you can then still join us online.
Indeed. So to register once again, hcqcalumninetwork.org, or you can drop an email. See, I'm working the memory this morning, as old as I am. And you can send an email to 2020 Gathering. Am I right? Read that one for me again. The email address?
2020 Gathering without the G.
Yes.
It's 2020 HCQC Gathering without
Correct.
the G at gmail.com.
There you go. And we want to encourage as many of you as possible, get up early tomorrow, get yourselves before your computers. If you can be in person, and engage. Allow our young people to talk about what they see as the future for education, and let's listen for change as adults. Let's just listen to hear their dreams, to hear what they see is possible, and let's help them then realize those dreams and realize that possibility as well. Thanks, both of you. Yes, Michelle, you wanted to add something?
Yes, one more thing. In terms of tomorrow, so one QC alumna is offering from her not-for-profit 5 students or 5 persons a free coaching session. So please register. And to have a chance. So that is just off the cuff, hot off the press. And so I just wanted to share that with the public, the students, not just QC, HC students, but any going to be there. Just you'll have that opportunity to have that coaching session. Okay.
Wonderful. So head out, folks, and start registering right now. hcqcalumninetwork.org and register right away to be a part of it. It's tomorrow and on Saturday, 9:30 in the morning to 12:30 in the afternoon, and you are going to be engaged. Thank you all. Thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you, Laurel, as well. All the best with it. And keep us up to date, Michelle, on the outcome. I'd love to hear it, so come back to us and tell us.
Of course. Okay.
All
have
right.
a great day. Thank you.
Likewise.
Have a great day.
You too. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey Q family, let's recognize World AIDS Day at the National Botanical Gardens with Q in the Community on December 1st from 11 a.m. We encourage you to bring a food item for the food bank. Health checks will be administered, HIV testing, experience the condom corner, and enjoy the free haircuts, and of course, the dress code will be red attire. All of this and more at Q in the Community, recognizing World AIDS Day December 1st from 11 a.m. Q in the Community is sponsored by Banks Beer, Guinness, Glacial Ice, Smirnoff Ice, Smirnoff Vodka, Johnny Walker, Barefoot Wines, Wester Hall Rum, Black and White Whiskey, Pepsi, and Juicy.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're approaching 60 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock this, what day is it, Thursday morning. Like everyone else, we're a little bit confused. We would have had yesterday's public holiday and now here we're back. It feels almost as if you're starting a brand new week. But no, it's Thursday today, everybody. 1st of December it is, as a matter of fact. Hope you had all of the reasons to enjoy your yesterday, your Independence Day, and you took the time to do what you felt liberated to do, but did it responsibly. And so as we reset, as the Prime Minister says, let's hope that we reset in a positive way as well. It is the season also for peace on earth and goodwill to all men and women. And that's one of the areas that we're going to be looking at in just a little while as well. Also, still to come, what are you going to give me for Christmas? A chance for one of you to answer your phone and answer it correctly. And when you do, you are a winner today. That's right, starting today, we are giving and giving and we are giving. What are you going to give me for Christmas, you ask? We're going to give you something for Christmas starting today. Also, starting today, we will be sharing with you over the period some of those wonderful things from under our Christmas tree. That's right, what's under our Christmas tree today? Stick around to find out, and we'll share with you the opportunities to win and opportunities also to get those great bargains everywhere as well. So stay around and get to enjoy the Christmas holidays with us right here on Morning Barbados. Now, let's turn our attention to the start of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And joining us to talk a little bit more about that and the ongoing work is the the representative for the UN Women's Multi-Country Office Caribbean, Tony Brodberg. Good morning to you, Tony.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you for asking. Good to see you a year later as well. I hope you are well. Merry Christmas if you're one of those kinds of girls.
I am one of those kinds of women, and I am Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to many of all of those who are celebrating.
So we're taking a look today at the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence against women and men and children. Let's talk a little bit about what has changed over the last year or what has changed over time.
So what I would say is it's actually the 16 days of violence to end the 16 days of activism against women. It's not that men aren't being considered, it's just that given the data that exists, we're focusing on activism against violence, the violence that is perpetrated on women. It's unfortunate that we don't have enough data to say what has changed in terms of prevalence. We still need to get that prevalence data for Barbados. But across the Caribbean, we know that 46% of women who have ever been in a relationship have experienced some form of violence in their relationship. We also know that during the COVID-19 pandemic, reports, which is a little different than prevalence, because this is a very underreported incident and occurrence. Reports increased significantly across the region. In Barbados, it was 38%, but in other countries, it was up to 100%. Those reports have gone down since the end of the lockdown. We don't know if this is because many women have decided that they're going to find something else in terms of a relationship. We don't know if they're choosing not to report, or we don't know if the actual prevalence has decreased. So one of the things that hasn't changed that we need to work on is increased data so we can better diagnose the specifics around what people are experiencing and specifically what women are experiencing regarding violence in their homes.
And I'm glad you said that, because while I hear the word violence, and it seems to be a very broad word, because under that umbrella falls so many other areas of violence, whether it is economic violence, sexual violence, and particularly given today is World AIDS Day, what do you know about how AIDS has been used as a weapon against women?
So what we know is that when you have increased vulnerabilities, and human beings are not necessarily born vulnerable, but your context, and that context could be stereotypes, negative stereotypes, or socioeconomic realities, creates increased vulnerabilities for you as you go throughout the world. The HIV, what was and still is a pandemic, creates, unfortunately still, such stigma for HIV positive. And what the data has shown is that those who are HIV positive are at increased risk for violence within their relationships. Luckily, across the Caribbean, thanks to the hard work of PAHO, WHO, and of course, many within the health sector in governments and in Barbados, that stigma is starting to decrease. So those who are HIV positive feel more comfortable accessing services when they do experience violence.
The call every year is to end the violence. Are you getting nearer and nearer to the end? Is there increasing awareness, and are you seeing a change in behavior?
Well, Pearson, you're asking some hard questions here in terms of the end. I like it. No, it's good. We need to get closer to the end, but that's not necessarily what we're seeing. The good things that we're seeing, and we do need to celebrate the wins, is that we're seeing more advocacy. We're seeing more people stand up and say, this has to end. We have a normalization of violence, especially intimate partner violence, which primarily affects women. At least that's what the data is showing. And it makes sense in terms of the sexual difference between women and men in terms of strength. One police officer from our region indicated to me, listen, of course, yes, there are violent women. However, the ways in which men are violent towards women definitely have a greater likelihood of creating serious bodily harm. And he gave the example of strangling. But because we have normalized this, and unfortunately our institutions reflect the normalization in that many of the laws against domestic violence, against sexual violence, against the different forms of violence that are gender-based, aren't necessarily reflective of international standards across our region yet. That said, at least we have civil society organizations continuing to drive to strengthen response, to strengthen activism more broadly, so that we do find ways to end this, both in terms of prevention, supporting those who choose violence as a means of conflict resolution, and that our legislation demonstrates that you will be held accountable if you do choose violence in conflict resolution.
So it's a partnership of all of those areas. I want to look at economic violence for just a moment, because there's still the power imbalance that exists between genders, where some people earn because of the nature of the fact that they're a male versus what the women would earn. Are you still seeing a lot of that in the Caribbean? And what do you think still needs to be done so we bring parity across that scheme?
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's something that surprises many people, because in the Caribbean, we see women leading at UE. We always say 70 to 80% of those who are graduating with UE degrees are women. However, this does not necessarily translate into employment. And what the data shows, and you can go to Caribbean Women Count, which is on the caribbean.unwomen.org page, to see that those women who are in an economically vulnerable position are more at risk of violence in their relationships. So what we've been trying to do is start from the very beginning encourage young women and girls to get involved in industries that are growth industries. We have a lot of women and girls in the services and hospitality sector, which is fantastic, except that sector is very, very risk prone when it comes to climate change impacts, as well as broader shocks such as the COVID-19 pandemic. So women need to be in positions where they're in more resilient industries as well. And we support the services and hospitality industry. And this is something across the UN system to become more resilient as well. But that's not the only. When we get to entrepreneurship, we need to be creating an enabling environment for women who have that entrepreneurial drive to be able to take advantage of it. But that won't be done unless we acknowledge the unpaid care responsibilities that disproportionately affect women. We saw during the pandemic that women's responsibilities in the home increased 2 times that of men, and that's taking care of the children, playing with the children, doing the homework with children, doing the care work in terms of cooking, cleaning, and of course, taking care of the elderly. Many of us have older parents. So if we don't create an enabling environment, and thank goodness the government of Barbados does have a fantastic program of subsidized childcare, which is one way to do this. But how can we expand these kinds of services?
There he is. I love it.
This is the unpaid care work responsibilities. And he actually came into one of my last interviews 2 years ago as well.
Yes, I love it indeed. But there's so much more we could talk about. We don't have enough time to talk about it indeed. But as always, and let's bring him in to say good morning and to wish him a Merry Christmas. What's his name?
His name is Eli.
Can we see Eli for just a moment if you don't mind? What a powerful name it is.
Sure,
indeed.
Eli is getting ready for school. Eli, say good morning and Merry Christmas.
Good morning, Eli. He's being shy right now. But Tony Broadbent, thank you so much for joining us again this morning. And again, reigniting the reason why we need to be following the purpose and getting involved in the purpose and being a part of the activism to end gender-based violence against women and girls. We wish you only the very best with your continued efforts. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're
and I
very
hope
welcome.
it doesn't take another year for us to see one another. We have International Women's Day coming up, so hope to see you then too and have a wonderful holiday.
Well, let's do that. And likewise, thank you so much indeed. Tony
right,
Broadbent, who is the representative of the UN Women's Multi-Country Office for the Caribbean. We'll take a break right here. She mentioned elderly care. We'll talk about that right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages.
Well, you better watch out. You better not shout because Santa Claus is coming to town. And when he comes, as always, he comes from somewhere, but he brings wonderful gifts and he places them under the Christmas tree. And so for the month of December, that's what we'll be sharing with you here on Morning Barbados. Things you will probably find at great bargains wherever they are, things that will bring joy and merriment to your heart and to your space as well, and maybe to the adult or the child in you. So let's share with you a little bit about what you can expect today. Today I want to tell you a little bit about what BOP does, how BOP brings joy this Christmas to you. Now BOP, as you know, is one of those wonderful products you'll find on your shelves somewhere. They bring joy this Christmas. You can win 1 year's worth of free groceries with any purchase of BOP. That's right, BOP insecticide. Eligible purchases will include one of the BOP products, like a BOP Original in the black can, the BOP Citronella in the yellow can, or the BOP Evergreen in the green can. That's right, there are 3 varieties. I bet you didn't know that. And they are under our Christmas tree in the studio. BOP Original in the black is a scent many of us have grown up with, having our grandparents and parents use even before they kill what? The roach and the creepy crawly things, right? We know the black one. That's the one we know oh so very well. And it's a Bajan brand product produced right here in Barbados by McBride Caribbean Limited, a subsidiary of the Goddard Enterprises Limited. Now, when you purchase BOP from any retailer, here's what we want you to do over the holidays. When you purchase BOP from any retailer, take a photograph of your receipt and upload then your picture or video to this website. The website is usebop.info/Barbados. So usebop.info/Barbados, usebop.info/Barbados, and you enter it for a grand prize of a year's worth of free groceries, compliments of BOP. As you know, BOP is distributed across the island through the Hansel Innes Limited, and you can get it from many of the outlets all over the place. And there it is. When you load up and you sign up, you fill in your first name, your last name, your contact numbers and contact information, and you upload your file, and you're good to go. That's what it's going to look like, the form on your screen. So you get it today and you buy your BOP. So with every purchase of BOP from any retailer across the island, all you need is to take your photograph of a receipt, upload that photo to the website, usebop.info/Barbados to enter. You get a grand prize of a whole year free worth of groceries, compliments to participating partners and BOP, of course. And there are partners all over the island. You know where to find your BOP. Buy your BOP today. Now remember, there's more. BOP isn't done just yet. For a chance to win $100 in grocery weekly, yes indeed, search for Use BOP page on Facebook or Instagram, and comment on the BOP Brings Joy This Christmas promotional post on the page, telling why you love BOP with the hashtag BOP Brings Joy. So you go to their socials, Facebook or Instagram, look for that big poster that talks about Bring Joy This Christmas, and you can comment on that promotional page right there with your why you love BOP, and use the hashtag BOP Brings Joy. Now, entries for both of the weekly $100 grocery shopping vouchers and the grand prize of the year's worth of free groceries in the BOP Brings Christmas Joy, they close on the 31st of December. And you can go to the website again, usebop.info/Barbados for all of the participating details. Good luck to all of you. We just brought it for you from under our Christmas tree. We'll take a break here. When we come back, I'll share with you the news.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Mornin Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning, Mornin Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the Community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The moment
a show folk come to dance, to sing.
Keep the bones smooth. Q in the community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
In the news now, Freedom of Barbados awardee, the Most Honorable Ralph Busy Williams, says he's changing his role in his company. Speaking shortly after he received his Independence Day honor yesterday, he said his new plan is to help develop more entrepreneurs, a plan to give back more to help in the Barbados economic development.
I'm supposed to be changing my role from executive chairman to non-executive chairman at the end of this year. But I have about 3 other companies, small companies. My mission going forward is going to let the CEO run the Williams Industries, and I'll go and help young entrepreneurs develop businesses.
He added that there are other small projects which also occupy his attention.
We got a little farm up in St. Philip called 13-acre Farms. We got a pig farm that's down in St. Lucie now, but that's moving to St. Philip. And we have about 3 other entrepreneurial things going on.
Recipient of the Gold Trident of Excellence, William Hines, who was awarded for his pioneering work in developing photovoltaic energy, wants more people to get on the renewable energy path.
It feels great, not just for me, but all of Barbados, especially those in Barbados who are part of the energy sector, who are moving towards our economic enfranchisement through empowerment and investment and through our climate efforts in Barbados and the world.
Mr. Hines is also encouraging more Barbadians to take advantage of the financial offers to invest in PV systems.
It's a ridiculously easy opportunity for people to make profits. We are targeting at least 50,000 Barbadians, so if you've not come on board with the 100% loans, with the low interest rates, and the opportunity to make money, now is the time. We need you to join us, and we want to ensure that Barbadian citizens, especially householders, become part of our economic enfranchisement of citizens.
Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley has called for a national reset to tackle 5 major national issues. She was addressing yesterday's Independence Parade. Ryan Broom reports.
Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley appealed to young and old Barbadians to hold dear to some of the foundational values of our foreparents, such as love, sharing and caring for others. Prime Minister Motley says now that the island has reached a new stage of the battle with COVID-19, it is time for a national reset. She says a key part of that will involve a meeting with the social partnership and civil society shortly to discuss a 5-point mission plan of unification to make Barbados world-class by 2030.
1. Against the backdrop of a climate crisis and a world that is losing the biodiversity, that is losing almost and has almost 1 million animals and insects that can become extinct and therefore can threaten our food supply, the first goal must be to green Barbados and to ensure in greening Barbados that we protect our food supply. The second goal must be for a healthy and safe Barbados for all, and none of us need any explanation after the last 3 years as to what that will mean.
And the Prime Minister says the other 3 areas are also critical to the life of the country.
The third must be to use the platform of education that we have invested in for centuries, but in particular in our modern existence, to create a knowledge and innovation hub. And the fourth one must be to leverage our geography, that Barbados must be an entrepot for the West in the Southern Hemisphere, recognizing that geography has always mattered, but it was used for the wrong and nefarious purposes for too many centuries of our development. We must now use it for the benefit of Barbados and Barbadians, that geographical position. And finally, my people, The fifth must be the economic enfranchisement of our people.
Now, Prime Minister Motley told the crowd if we are to be truthful to the journey we have traveled, then it must not be simply for capital to get returns, but for the bounty to be shared with labor as well. She also called on Barbadians to be strong and courageous in these challenging times. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
Ryan, thank you. This is it for the CBC News, and we'll take a break right here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Come on, Cuba, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the Community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Scrape the bones smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the Community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next, and follow us on Facebook. Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCT.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're now 9 minutes after 7 o'clock this Thursday morning, and again, it's the 1st of December, World AIDS Day. It's also the start of what is going to be a hectic period, a month, the last month of the year, when all of you get ready for your shopping and your Christmas as well. But let's turn our attention now to the upcoming Bridgetown International Arts Festival, a space which provides opportunity to showcase the best of our creativity to the rest of the world. Joining us to talk about what's going to be next year is Shanika Burnett and Ashley Sereau. Good morning to you, Sereau. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
Okay, good morning to you. Shanika, explain to me a little bit about the Bridgetown International Arts Festival.
Hi, good morning. So basically, the Bridgetown International Arts Festival is a performing arts event which was established for the main purpose of enhancing the Barbados tourism product and also to create an enabling environment for the artists to flourish, for emerging artists to have a platform to showcase their work. The main reason for the festival is because we think that it could be a key driver for the Barbados tourism industry, and also it is to generate a wider public interest in the arts, and it will also be a very good thing for all of these stakeholders that are involved.
It is a time when you're able to showcase all of our performing arts. And so I suppose the way it normally works is that there are going to be different spaces where people can come and engage with the different art forms.
Ashley, you want to take this one?
Somebody got to answer me. So talk to me,
okay,
Shanika.
well,
It's a disciplinary event which features performing artists from all over the world. So also the way that you can.
Or we seem to be having a problem with Ashley. So Shanika, you answer the question, Shanika. You talk to me.
Yes.
You tell me how the
Problem.
festival will work.
Okay, well, basically, we will have a series of events featuring various performing arts. So we have a night for dance, there will be a night for music, there will also be opportunities for literary artists, spoken word artists, poets, people in the comedy or dramatic presentation space to showcase their pieces. And so far, we have had applications from a number of places. We have, of course, applications from Barbados, but we also have some from throughout the Caribbean, New York, South Africa, Senegal, Cameroon, Australia, and Tanzania. So we are expecting a multidisciplinary event, but also an event which features international artists as well, because it's an international festival, and the main purpose is to basically put Barbados on in the center stage on in an international platform. So we want to, as we know, there are a lot of festivals popping up in Barbados, but we don't see a lot which are specifically for the arts and which highlights all of the arts, other than probably the National Independence Festival of Creative Arts. So this was really an opportunity to highlight the arts and bring it into the forefront at a different time of the year, where we're not just looking inwardly, but we are basically like we can do it at any time of the year. It doesn't just have to be for independence, is what I'm trying to say.
So it's next year. It's happening in March. Are registrations still open for people to be a part?
Yes, they are. You can hear me correctly, properly now,
Yes,
right?
I can.
Right. So our open call was posted in November, and you can apply right now using the link in our bio in Instagram at Bridgetown International Arts Festival, and the deadline is December 30th.
Instagram, you are Bridgetown Arts Festival, and that's where we can get our application form. And once we do so, we register and be a part of it. It's the 4th edition. The deadline is the end of December, the 30th of December. So once you go onto the Instagram page, Bridgetown Arts Festival, you click on the register now and you complete the registration application in, because when your work is showcased, you're showcasing, you're literally rubbing shoulders with other creatives from around the world. After all, it is an international chance for everyone to be exposed. And what are the dates, Shanika, next year?
The festival is scheduled to be held in March 2023. The specific dates will be announced as it comes a bit closer, but look forward to March 2023.
All right. So, of course, as we draw closer, we'll be reminding folks of the Bridgetown International Arts Festival. I want to thank both of you for joining us this Thursday morning. Indeed, all the very best. I hope you had a wonderful yesterday, which was Independence Day. Are you both Christmas babies? You all love Christmas a lot?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm a Christmas baby because I was born near to Christmas, but I like the period, the time of year where people feel more giving and loving.
Peace
So
on earth.
I love the holiday season.
And Ashley, you said, yes, I am. That means you're one of those kinds of girls who gets all dolled up and dressed up and the house prepared and everything for Christmas?
Of course, we are already in the process of cleaning and everything, so I just cannot wait.
She just can't wait, indeed. All the best, indeed. Of course, stick around and give us a chance to hear more about it a little later on as it unfolds. Just remind us of how it's going, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you too as well. You're welcome. Shanika Burnett and Ashley Seria, who are with the Bridgetown International Arts Festival, is in March. You have until the end of December the 30th, to register your art in. So just go to the Instagram page, Bridgetown Arts Festival, click the register now on the poster, and submit your registration. Remember, all you need to do is to fill it in, get your registration in by the end of December for a chance to be exposed to the rest of the world next year in March. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, and one of those exceptional young people will join us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
Think before you click. Be a chance. Think before you click. Don't forget now. Before you spread wrong information. Think before you click. Just stop and think.
17 minutes now after 7 o'clock. This exceptional youth is just 21 years old, studying at the moment geography in the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom, but passionate about what she believes. We're happy to be joined this morning by the Haiti Ambassador for Europe, Shannon White. Shannon, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you this morning?
I'm well, thank you for asking. How do you do?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Now, I'm fascinated by something you did. You were in preparing for your project, your research project. You came to Barbados and you talked to some young people. What did they tell you?
They told me a lot of things. I gained some really useful information and it was really insightful. So the main topic of conversation that I was having with those young people was the barriers that they're facing to getting involved in climate action, which, as we know, is such a key issue facing all countries around the world, but especially small island nations such as Barbados. And young people are such an important solution to this problem, and they can have real power to make real change. But we know there are many barriers to getting involved in all sorts of ways. So some of my main findings include the role that education plays in making sure that young people are educated to be able to understand these issues properly and what the challenges are, what they can do. And that plays a key role. And then another key issue was resources. This includes financial resources, lack of funding is a problem, and other resources such as human capital. This includes the capacity of young people, whether they have the skills and knowledge, again relating back to education to make that change. And my final key finding was actually related more to the psychological side of climate change, where it's actually not being studied too much, but the issue can have really huge impacts on young people's mental health. They can be feeling feelings of fear and intimidation and worry. And so that's another really important thing to consider, as this is more likely to make them, more unlikely to act, essentially. So youth empowerment is also really important.
Those are broad responses from across all of the young people who you've interviewed, or are those specific to Barbados alone?
So they are context specific to Barbados. They're the key ones I found from Barbados, but I've been doing a lot of research on literature that's already been published from around the world. And they are backed up by those broader findings. But I do think it is a very context-specific issue. As I mentioned, the challenges that small island nations are facing are so different. So, yeah.
Some adults will say to you, why should I care about climate change? I've lived my long life. I've never had a concern. So why should I be concerned now? What would you say?
I think it's just really important to recognise that we can't continue as we currently are acting, because while things might look fine just about now if we carried on with business as usual, there's been so much research into the impacts that are going to be facing us in the next, not even 100 years, in the next 10 years, 20 years. And that's going to be in our futures, especially young people. We're going to be growing up into this new world. We'll see things like an increased intensity and frequency of hurricanes, specifically for Barbados, increased drought, flood risk, all these sorts of things, as well as sea level rise, which will affect coastal areas. So it's going to affect everyone, whether we like it or not. So it's such an important thing to be paying attention to.
We shouldn't bury our heads in the sand. Have you always been this passionate about the climate, even as a little girl?
I'd say I've definitely got more passionate as my knowledge on the topic grew. I think it did start when I was a lot younger. I was kind of made aware of some of the issues by my mum, actually. She's always been really good at sort of recycling and using buses and bicycles instead of driving to places and saving energy efficiency within the house. And I saw these actions in my day-to-day life. And it made me question why we're doing that sort of thing and the reasons for that and what the issues are. So then I kind of started doing my own research and was obviously learning about it in school. But that was in a much more sciencey context. So I wanted to learn for myself what the actual issues are and what I could be doing for change. So it's definitely grown as an interest of mine as I've got older.
You reside in the United Kingdom, millions of people. How do you get your voice heard among all of them?
That's definitely the difficult issue. And that's partly why I'm looking at this for my research project for uni, because I think it is so difficult for one individual person to get their voice heard. In fact, it can be almost impossible sometimes. But I'm just trying to make change on the individual level. For example, the actions that I mentioned that individual people can be taking, because we can make changes in our everyday lives, which will, at some level, work towards preventing climate change. But then also, I think it's really important to work collectively and employ the power of communities and groups of people who can work together to then get their voices heard. For example, with school groups going on strike, missing school, we've seen that on TV all over the world. And I think those sorts of things are ways that the people in power to listen to us.
What do you do for fun, Shannon? Because, you know, you're so passionate about the environment. You're so passionate about what you believe. You're studying geography, you're at university, and at 21 years old, sometimes all you just want to do is just relax and have some fun. So what do you do for fun?
I do enjoy sport a lot. So while I'm at university, I'm on the rowing team for my college. I'm actually captaining that this year, which is really exciting.
Congrats.
Got a lovely group of friends. It's such a team sport. Thank you. So that takes up a lot of my time outside of academic stuff, but also just generally relaxing, you know, reading a good book, watching TV, the usual things.
The usual young people's things, indeed. But you are the Hay Ambassador for Europe. What areas in Europe are you connected with as a Hay Ambassador?
So as a Hay Ambassador, I know the foundation really focuses on empowering young people and the capacity for them to do that. And I do really like the international reach of the foundation. So the fact that they do have ambassadors in Europe and Africa and, you know, wider than just the Caribbean. So I attended, while I was in Barbados, I attended the Barbados Youth Climate and Action Summit and Expo, which was really, really insightful into what I could then take home with me to help myself, you know, learn more about climate change and improve the actions that I'm taking, how to reach more people, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Was that trip to Barbados your first time to our island?
Yes, it was, yeah. And I have to say, it was an amazing first impression.
I know I'm curious about the experience. How would you describe your time while here?
I think it was really eye-opening for me because I was coming from a very different country in terms of a whole range of aspects, including more generally like the climate. Obviously, it's completely different. And the culture as well, and the size. Obviously, we have millions of people here, as you said, whereas Barbados is much smaller. So I think those factors alone, it was very interesting to be looking at a subject that I've studied in the UK, coming to a completely different context and being able to look at them in this different context. And yeah, as I mentioned, speaking to the young people just really opened my eyes to the different issues that people like myself are facing, but, you know, the other side of the Atlantic Ocean.
And then to also be able to see for yourself the vulnerability of small island states. So, I'm sure you got a chance to see the coast from coast to coast, and you can see how sea level rise could impact our little rock, or little space in the earth. And so now that you're armed with this information, what are you hoping to do? This research that you're doing, what are you hoping to do thereafter?
So at the minute, I'm compiling the data that I found into this research report, and that should be finished by the time I graduate from my degree this coming June. And this research will be published hopefully within the university, which will be really good because I think quite a few people in academia will be able to read that and open their eyes to what I found. But then beyond that, I want to take what I've learned further, if possible, and maybe apply the research to other contexts and see if it can be used as kind of a lesson for other places, especially other small island nations with certain similar background factors. And then, of course, I want to continue on my sort of climate change action journey after graduation and so on.
At the University of Cambridge, do you get the sense that a number of people in your demographic, your age, are equally interested in what's happening in our environment and as it relates to climate change specifically?
I do think there is much more awareness and interest among my age group, specifically than older generations, which is really positive to see. I have many conversations with my friends and classmates about the issues that we're facing with the climate and the environment, and it's certainly at the forefront of people's minds. I do think there is still progress to be made in that regard because some people are still unaware of certain things, and I think that is just down to limitations within our education system and the fact that it needs to become more of a priority and more kind of an embedded part of our culture.
Shannon White, we are so happy to meet you this morning. We had you on because we wanted to recognize you in Barbados as one of our exceptional young people of the world, and we salute you on the work you're doing. And whenever you have the chance again, come back to our beautiful island. We'd be happy to have you here as well. But all the best going forward. Thank you for being you. Thank you for having the passion that you have for the things you do, and we wish you every success in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on. Have a nice day.
You're welcome. You're welcome indeed. Shannon White, the Haiti Ambassador for Europe. She's studying geography at the University of Cambridge in the United Kingdom, but she's passionate about the environment. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Before you click, pigeons, think before you click. Don't forget now, before you spread wrong information. Think before you click, just stop and think. Think before you click, BBS. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click. When friends send news to your phone, check the source or leave it alone. Cause people creating fake news to deceive you and confuse. Alright yo, accident broadcast on WhatsApp. Check yourself, don't forward that. Have respect for the victim's family. You would not share family like that. Think before you click. Pigeons, think before you click. Don't forget now, before you spread wrong information. Think before you click. Just stop and think. Think before you click. Think before you click. If you can't confirm the source of the information, think before you click.
Hey Q family, let's recognize World AIDS Day at the National Botanical Gardens with Q in the Community on December 1st from 11 a.m. We encourage you to bring a food item for the food bank. Health checks will be administered. HIV
29 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. Our next exceptional young person comes from the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, currently studying law at the University of the West Indies here at Cave campus. But she has a lifelong dream of simply becoming a criminal defense attorney and owning her own law firm. She is Denique Walker. Good morning to you, Denique.
Good morning, Mr. Brown. And I'd like to thank you for such a warm welcome, and it's such a pleasure and honor being here. Yes, again, I am Denise Walker.
You're very welcome. Welcome to my island, Barbados, indeed. Now, this is 2 years you've been here doing your studies. How's it been going so far?
Okay, I actually came over in September, but so far the studies have been amazing. It's treating me well. The people of Barbados is also welcoming, and it's such nice to. We're all in the Caribbean, so I just appreciate that it wasn't a culture shock when I come over here. The food tastes the same and all that, but I wasn't even like a beach person from before, and
Yes.
coming over here is just wow. Like I can't stop not go to the beach kind of things. I'm really grateful
Wow.
for this opportunity.
I love that. Wow. Just one phrase explains it all. Wow. This is wonderful. But the thing is, you get your doubles here as usual. You get a lot of your Trinidad products here as well. So you're going to feel very much at home. But you also find yourself a part of the Femme Let's cohort. How did that come about?
Well, the FLC ambassadorship is invite only, and I was recommended by one of my lecturers at the university. Um, I'm always looking for opportunities to further broaden my holistic development, and after reading about the program and our founder, Gabrielle Gay, I was really, truly inspired, especially considering that the program was designed for young Black women like myself and legal women. So it really was an opportunity that I couldn't give up.
And now that you've accepted you're part of it, what are you exposed to?
I am exposed to environmental law. Firstly, I must say that it erased my misconception about environmental law. I really saw it as geography and soil and learning about plants or whatnot. But after engaging with the attorneys and their experiences, they hear about the environmental social governance. And as an attorney, you're able to step in on businesses, that may discriminate against groups or their employees, or even you're able to look how the products are being manufactured. Its sustainability. Does it harm consumers? Does it harm the environment and contribute to, you know, global warming or even pollution? And that I also learn about advocating for environmental activists that are poorly treated. And we do have the power to infringe and challenge laws that deals with the destruction of nature. So it's a whole lot. I even learned like in the BYBT session about entrepreneurship, the importance of
Yes.
networking. Yeah, like when I came over here and I left my friends and family behind, I realized how introverted I was, and that it has no place. It has no place in entrepreneurship. You need to be able to sell your product and really, who knows, you might need financial support. So no true answers. I also learned about marketing my product and just studying your market. So it
Wow.
was really fruitful personally.
It truly has been, it sounds to me, quite all-encompassing as well. But I'm curious as to why you have chosen law to be your life pursuit. What was it about law that, as a girl, you thought, I want to be a lawyer?
I have been always passionate about law in terms of speaking out on any injustice around me and even advocating for those that one may consider vulnerable. But aside from that, like becoming an attorney one day is an opportunity for me to showcase, to young Black women like myself that this high class occupation is attainable, And I come from a community where they have a lot of them have big dreams. However, it just falls short due to the environment. So this is my opportunity to really motivate them.
Yeah, but
Just be an example.
there's so many aspects to law, but you want to be a criminal defense attorney at law specifically. Why that particular specialty?
Right. Really great question. Some of the legal issues I'd like to tackle as a criminal defense attorney is police brutality and the poor justice system when it comes to the ways in which the system tackle what I want to say petty crimes. Like times is changing, we are evolving, and it's about time we start looking at the we start making amendments to the legislation because we all are aware that the legislation is quite strict and outdated, and it comes from a time period where it no longer relates to our societal norms today. So I feel like it's about time we start looking beyond the law and maybe tackling the root of the problem in a more socioeconomic context. So, for instance, the minorities that are guilty of theft face strict charges, not charges, penalties, and I just feel like how about we start looking at the reasons why that led them to be like this, to commit such act? Because, what to put it, high levels of unemployment, not only in my country, but throughout the Caribbean, global, and this do impact poverty. So I feel like, I believe that the judicial personnel are one of, like judges and police officers, they hold such a big role in society, and their duty is to protect and serve us. So I feel like just to make a more wholesome and homogeneous society. So I feel like a little bit more discretion must be showed. And that's where I come in, like in this legal frame, like really being placed in this frame, I feel like it's my opportunity to be a part of activism, both legal and social change, and just be a contributing member to my society. As I always like to put it, be a legal voice for the stigmatized community. So yeah.
You sound as though you have a really solid head on your shoulders, which says to me you're going to be quite a success indeed. But what I found also interesting is that you also love to cook and you also love to swim. It's one of your favorite pastimes. What is your favorite dish to prepare?
It might sound really simple to others, but I love cassava and saltfish. However, I feel like in Barbados, when I go in town, I really need to check every corner for cassava because it's not as,
ready, accessible. Yes. I hope you find your cassava. I know you'll find your saltfish. But you are going to definitely have a good time in Barbados. All the best to you indeed. Denique Walker, it has been our pleasure to recognize you today as one of our exceptional young people of the Caribbean. And we're happy to meet you. We wish you every success in all of your studies and your future endeavors indeed. And with the commitment you have to making the change, we know the change will come through you. Denique, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. Very welcome indeed. Bye-bye. Morning Barbados takes a break right here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Hey Q family, let's recognize World AIDS Day at the National Botanical Gardens with Q in the Community on December 1st from 11 a.m. We encourage you to bring a food item for the food bank. Health checks will be administered, HIV testing, experience the condom corner, and enjoy the free haircuts, and of course, the dress code will be red attire. All of this and more at Q in the Community, recognizing World AIDS Day December 1st from 11 a.m. Q in the Community is sponsored by Banks Beer, Guinness, Glacial Ice, Smirnoff Ice, Smirnoff Vodka, Johnny Walker, Barefoot Wines, Wester Hall Rum, Black and White Whiskey, Pepsi, and Juicy.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Today is World AIDS Day, December the 1st, and so joining us now, because there's going to be a big activity coming up on the weekend, is Michael Phillips and Jamelia Williams-Phillips, who are both with the World AIDS Day Celebrity Football Match. They're part of it indeed. Good morning, both of you.
Hi, good morning, Kirsten.
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. Firstly, are either of you, or is any of you, a Christmas baby? Y'all love this kind of thing this season?
Of course, we love Christmas. You can't not love Christmas.
It brings really good feelings with it.
Especially. And what's your favorite meal at Christmas, Michael?
It would have to be the ham cutter Christmas morning.
Not bad. Jamelia, what about you?
Besides ham cutter, I love my green peas and rice with the ham in it.
You're my kind of girl as well, indeed. All right, so it's World AIDS Day, and there's an activity you have coming up. There must be a reason why you're having this upcoming celebrity football match. What's going on, Michael?
Okay, the National HIV/AIDS Commission in Barbados, they usually are always on the forefront when it comes to their awareness campaign to, get people up to scratch on what they should know about HIV and AIDS and safe sex in Barbados. So we are going to be hosting a celebrity football match on December the 3rd. That's this Saturday at 3 p.m. at Kickstart Rush. And we're going to have a whole host of entertainers and diplomats, members of the media, a whole host of public figures coming to play football so that we can bring people into the same space and educate them and teach them about HIV and AIDS. The volunteers of the commission are going to be on hand. There are going to be condom demonstrations, educational information, everything you need to know about HIV and AIDS is going to be right there, Kickstart Rush on the day.
I mean, naturally, we have relations and relationships, so we need to be respectful within that. And so the education, the opportunity for that, as you said, is going to be shared on Saturday. Kickstart is in Wildy?
Yeah, that's, let me give the Bajan direction. the left turn after the Nazarene Church on Column Rock.
Yes.
Before you get to what used to be Banks Brewery, there's a gap. Bajans know it. Some people know it as the Barclays Sports Club or the First Caribbean Sports Club. That's where we're going to be.
That is quite right. Yes, I got the location well as a good old Barclays buying myself. So there's something special you want us to do, Jamelia, as well. When we come to watch this football match, see these celebrities out there doing their thing, what else do you want us to do?
We asking you very nicely to please walk with donations for the clients of the HIV/AIDS Commission. So it can be in the form of a monetary donation, or you can be bringing food items, toiletries, whatever you can. Once it's a non-perishable item, that's what we require you to bring to help us to help those clients of the commission.
Because the reality is the food bank is also quite low on resources. And at this time in particular, everyone wants to have a jolly time. And so we can all give back from our generosity by bringing a non-perishable item or items, and we bring it to the Barclays Sports Club or the Kickstart Cricket Ground in Wildy on Saturday, this Saturday indeed, and we give back to our community. We give to those who are fortunately not going through what we're going through, or they're going through what they're going through, but we want us to be kind as a society indeed, and so that kindness we want to share on Saturday. I know today being World AIDS Day, there's a special queue in the community. I'm talking for just a minute here now. There's a very special queue in the community at the Botanical Gardens today, folks, and that's where we encourage you to wear your red, also in support of the efforts of the National HIV/AIDS Commission, but we also want you to come out on Saturday to the sports ground there and be a part of it. Now, Michael, who are these celebrities who are going to be kicking ball in the football match?
Well,
Roel Ford. By the way, I don't know if you know, but my technical director, Roel Ford, professes to be a star footballer. Do you know anything about that?
Roel Ford, I can't say I know. Does he have a nickname that he goes by? I can't say I know who that is.
No, not knowing his name is enough of an answer. That's all right for me. So he's not one of the celebrities. Who are the celebrities?
Okay, a lot of people don't know, but I have I've been working in entertainment and in media for quite some time, so I've been able to leverage the relationships I've made over the years, and we've got a star-studded cast for you guys on Saturday. We have two teams. They're going to be captained by two former national team captains, and both these players are also former English Premier League players. So we have Gregory Lalu Goodridge, the evergreen, always playing football. He actually claims to be part man, part football. He's going to be captaining one of our teams. And the other team is going to be captained by Emerson Boyce, who's the technical director of the Barbados Football Association. And he played in his time with Wigan Athletic and Blackburn Rovers.
Yes.
Yes. So those are the two captains that we're going to have. And just to call some names, we're not going to give out who's on what team, but to call some names, we have Ronaldo P. Jilts. He's a former youth player, and he's a current national team coach. We have Gibbsy Dan, who's an entertainer. We have Nandi Yard, DJ Inchi, Kurt Brown, Guy Smith, Ziggy Walker, Top Panis. We have Quan the Artist, Thibaut Johnson, Myron Edwards, Russell Padmore from 2 Mile Hill. We have Shaquille. Shaquille not only sings really sweet, but he's a really good football player as well. The youngest player in our roster is Daphne Watson-James. She's a national women's team player. She's 18 years old. She's going to be the youngest player on the field on the day. We have Kent Hall, another former national player and a current national team coach. We have some international players coming in. We have a couple of players from the European Union delegation and from the Argentine embassy as well. So we have Quentin Peño from the EU delegation. We have Angel Dalmazo and Mayela Sidiberto from the Argentine delegation. We have Mario Van der Poel, Robert Bishop, Mr. Dill. We have Ria Holder. Yeah, it's star-studded cast. We got some big names. Mario Hart, former national team player. Elwin Oxy, another former national. He's a former national volleyballer, actually. Yep. Philip Seven, Rashid Belgrave, Christopher Buchanan, Jason Haynes, Adrian Mapp, Devon Chase. We have Doddy. We have Mick Quang, Adrian Clark, Ryan Walters, Brutal Crank Star, and me.
Saving the best for last, right, Michael? I love it.
I'm not going to say that because as much as I would wish I was a footballer, I'm not. But you know, you need some comic relief in between there as well. So
that's right. That's right.
Have some fun.
That's right. Now, there's a lot of names. I can't imagine how large these teams will possibly be.
Yeah, we got two. But the thing is, it's rolling subs, so we can get people coming in and out. So it's not going to be So it's going to be a really good day, quick and fun.
What time does the game start?
Well, we have a 3 p.m. kickoff.
Oh, sorry. I'll let her take it. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you go on.
3 p.m. prompt start time. We're starting off first with our youth exhibition match, which is going to be featuring the under-17 teams from Pro Shotters versus Kickstart Rush. And then we go from that youth exhibition match straight into our celebrity match. But we want you there from the very start to, of course, cheer on the youth teams as well.
Yeah, this sounds like beer sport. I mean, it's serious football, but it's also going to be quite fun as well. So it's a great opportunity for everyone of every age to be a part of it indeed. The celebrity football match, it goes down this Saturday on the grounds at Kickstart Rush Football Club, what is otherwise known as the First Caribbean Sports Ground in Wilde, starting at 3. We ask you folks to bring a donation of food, toiletries, or a small monetary donation for clients of the HIV/AIDS Commission. And big thanks to the sponsors as well. So, folks, I want to thank you, Michael and Jamelia. I hope that the grounds are overflowing with people. That there are more people than football.
Yes,
Space
we
for
really
football.
hope so too. And also, we're having we have a collaboration going on with Fast 7, and the artists that they will have passing through who will be performing that night for Hennessy Artistry.
Nice.
We're going to have Jashi and Skeng. So we expect to have a mix of from the very young to the older folks passing through to be a part of this.
Nice. Folks, we're going to the ground on Saturday beginning at 3 in the afternoon. Thank you, Michael, Jamelia as well. All the best with this and other endeavors as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Good morning indeed. We're taking a break right here. When we come back, what are you going to give me for Christmas? Stand by to answer your phone. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
What you gonna give me for Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, what are you going to give me for Christmas? I can't wait to let's start giving some gifts for Christmas this time around. And remember, all you need to do to be a part of it is to submit your name and your contact details by WhatsApp, if you care to, at 467-5465. Or you can send an email with your name and your contact details to contests@cbc.bb, and our marketing team will do their juggling around. They'll pull some names and they'll give it to us. It's going to be across radio and television as well. So they'll decide which names go where, that kind of thing. All we do is we call you. And when we call you, you answer correctly. If you do, then you win. If you don't, then you lose. It is that simple. So are we ready to play? I'm ready to play. So let's see whether or not this first person, who we will be calling in just a moment, answers your phone. Now, mind you, a number of you tend to only want to submit your cellular phone number. If you're going to do so, please have your cell phones on or fully credited with sufficient funds to receive a call. We will be calling you from a landline to your cell phone. Make sure that you have everything ready so that when that calls come through, you get the chance to win with us at the CBC in our Christmas promotion. What are you going to give me for Christmas? So remember, cell phone users, let's do it right. Let's have your cell phones handy and ready. Or the next thing to do, tell us your landline that you are most accessible by, and that works as well. So let's see if we get it right. So remember, if you want to be a part of it, submit your name and your contact details by WhatsApp to 467-5465, or you can send an email to contest@cbc.bb. Shh.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Oh, so I couldn't hear, so I'm lost. Did I miss something? All right. So let's try to see. We have 5 minutes remaining. Let's see if we get someone on the line and get it right. Now, when it rings, I'm going to go quiet. So when you hear me, go quiet. Don't panic. I'm all right. So remember, get your entry in by WhatsApp to 467-5465. Your name and your contact details. In terms of your telephone number. And the same thing by email as well. The email address is contests, contests@cbc.bb. It's that simple. And then we'll do this every day on radio and on television. But you have to answer your phone correctly.
We're sorry.
No, that's not the one. Incoming calls are not accepted at this time. So you guys will guide me as to where I am. So let's try one more person. We've had 3 names. So far, none of you has answered your cell phone. So you see how the danger in having a cell phone number and using your cell phone number? You have to have credit on your phone. You have your phone turned on.
The number you have dialed.
That's the happy refrain, isn't it? So let's do a double check from the back end there, and let's see how that works and see if we get that sorted out. But folks, you're going to win some wonderful things. We have some wonderful partners who are working with us on this, and we wish you only the very best as well. So what are you going to give me for Christmas? We're giving you something really, really good indeed. Thanks to Purity Bakeries, Farmer's Choice, Jordan Supermarket, 365 Detox, Promo Tech, Berger College Shop, Which one is this? 1, 2, or 3? Hello? Hello? Okay. This, you see what you guys do? What you guys do is you take up your phone, you look to see who's calling. When you don't recognize who's calling, you decide you're not answering. You better decide to answer because, hey, it could be us calling you to win this Christmas season. So let's see. Let's see here now. We're dialing away. It's almost like Santa Claus, the hooves of the reindeer.
The number you have dialed.
Not that one either. We have to give somebody, come on, man, come on, y'all. Let's see if we get somebody through. Let's give one of you a chance to win. It is so important, folks. I can't stress it enough that if you're going to give to us your cell phone, you've got to do your part. You have to do your part. You have to make sure your phone is on and that your phone has credit to receive the call, or you will not be a winner. Simple, isn't it? Let's get it right. Let's see.
We're sorry.
All right. That's it. I feel bad. What about you? I really wanted to start December 1st on the right note, but no, that didn't happen. But better luck next time. It could be you next time that we call, so just make sure that you do the right thing and the right thing will attend you. But before we go, I want to remind you that BOP brings joy this Christmas. Just go out there and when you purchase BOP from any retailer, take a photo of your receipt and upload that photo to the website usebop.info/Barbados, along with your contact details, of course, for that chance to enter to win the grand prize of 1 year's worth of free groceries, compliments of BOP. They're also having weekly draws, indeed, of $100 shopping vouchers. Same website you go to, and I wish you well. Well, that's it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. December the 1st, World AIDS Day. For my producer, Alicia Asgrant, Technical Director, Rural Ford, Sound, Michael Sobers, and at Master Control, Tamisha Green. We wish you well. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.